Hey everyone, Zhonos here. I'm going to do a quick video to showcase the changes that were made in the most recent patch. But instead of the patch notes, which I think everyone kind of skipped, I don't blame you. I thought I'd give it a try, but yeah, I'm just going to do a quick run. Who should we play? I think I'll do a King 9 video just to compare and contrast, and we'll see some of their changes. I guess, let me think. Do we do King of Time? King of Time would be good. What I want to test here is I want to test walls and the surrender button. Let's just try this because the King of Time has Bastion, and Bastion is total super garbage, terrible card. But it should be better this patch. So I think we'll do King of Time, but here's one change already. Look, it now says I've cleared everything. I don't like this change personally because I haven't actually played on all these difficulties, but this is happening because you may might not know, but I beat King 9-9, so it gives me credit for everything. Don't know why you need credit for everything, but we have it. Okay, so I don't think they made any changes to these. They did buff the Orbiter, so maybe we'll try the Orbiter build. Let's try a balanced build, actually. So, no Banisher. I'm pretty sure you should still run, or I should say never run Banisher. They've added a reroll too, so even more reason. We'll do 4 of those. Brutal's pretty important. They nerfed the warpers, by the way. So, and also starting stats, I'll just tell you now, starting stats are typically very, very bad. I mean, it's still good to have, right? Because you will accelerate faster, but because of King of Nomads in the game, if you get a King of Nomad buff to any stats that you would have gotten through these, then that's just way, way better. So in that case, let's do enemies have minus 5% speed. Yeah. And let's do just one roll back in time. And let's see if we can win King 9 that way. In that case, who would ever take Agile, by the way? Let me be real. Do this. We do that. Wait, no, the base is better. I know what I'm doing. I have a much better idea. We're doing this build. Base. Yes, base build. It's a base build. Boom. Boom. Yep. Yep. Let's go. Base build. Oh, and so we couldn't reroll these, but we can reroll them. Huh? What does it say? Well, they made the early game easier to handle for high difficulties in general, so we'll see if that's true. But more importantly, what is this? Reroll blessings. Reroll the kings you're facing in the next battle. That's it. Ah, that's what it was. I think we actually keep with them. So the base build with a base in the middle. Orbiter, for sure. Wow, is this an amazing hand or am I crazy? No, because we don't want to rewind just yet. Well, we could. I'm gonna put an orbiter here, and we're going. We are going to prep And then put this here. And then we're offering that away. And surely we can win with auto on our base. They also reduced the number of enemies by a little bit. They said about 5%. Which would be good, because King 99, it usually is year times 10. Plus or minus, like, 10 units. Offering would be best. Okay, Bastion is going to keep showing up. Let's just get it leveled up so I don't have to worry about it. They also swapped out the enemy King of Time units that could summon. Also, I'll take a Warper. Guess we'll put them here, I guess. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to turn off auto because I actually want to control this one. I'll get the melee units out of the way. So, that was weird. They have like different styled enemies? Oh. Oh no. Did we lose already? Okay. Brutal. Yeah, King of Time's too tough. That's... Oh? Oh, right, because I have... Oh, no, I'm doomed! I forgot. Yeah, I have 1,000,000 Bastion levels. I'm just going to turn auto on. And here... I'll just keep leveling Bastion. But really, we're going to go back in time. Refraction would be really funny, though it ruins my going back in time plan. They nerfed the Warpers, by the way. They now... So the Warpers have better starting stats. I don't know if that actually is better, huh? That looks like the same health as before. And that's the only stat that really matters. Maybe they had less before? I don't know. But they get half their stats. So the minions have 6 and 2. So I don't think this is good anymore. I want going back... No, wow. Wow. Man, I really would have liked going back in time more. This is still really, really, really good, though, because I have rewind. So... Let's think. Do this. Go back in time. And rewind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, that's right. I used 2 cards, so this is exactly right. Good. Let's get our Bastion levels up out of the way first. Let's level the Warper. What are you, level 1? So we'll set up another portal. Okay, I said I only go back once, but let's not throw. Let's just have a good win. I mean, this is just King 9, not King 99, but I'd say things are going well. Let's see if we can beat King of Burgers here. Bastion is doing better. You know, I think the biggest problem with Bastion is its AoE circle is really, really tiny. And it doesn't seem to get noticeably bigger with level up. That's probably my biggest complaint with the Bastion. But we'll see. Other towers, I mean, with buffs, they can really carry pretty quickly and easily. Ooh. Let's see if they fix fast forward. 2, 1, 1, 2, 4. Okay. So we lost a level up. It was only 1 level up, but it was still good. Overall, right? That was okay. I would have preferred cards. Okay, that was funny. So, if you read the patch notes as well, they explained the difficulty in their minds. I think I want to take Overhaul here. Yeah. I want to level up Overhaul so I can just start like insta leveling up my portals. So goodbye orbiters. They did make them better apparently. They have more health at least. Yeah, the orbiters are terrible. Also, that was risky actually, because I could have gone in time, like way too far back in time. But yeah, no, King difficulty is hard. King 2 and on is very hard, and King 9-1, which there is no King 9-1, there's only King 9 and King 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, a little bit of a confusing way of writing that, but I think they just mean King 9. And King 9, they said King 9 and on, possibly unwinnable. I'd say that's pretty accurate even from the last patch, actually, but... here, I don't really want any of these. Second offering for now. We'll see. One random plot twice, so it could hit the Bastion. I'd rather get 2 random time cards so I have more cards in my hand. We missed things I can get rid of, though. That's a little unsettling. This is a small waste as well, but I'm going to blow up this guy so I don't level back into the negative boss. Earthworks, that's nice. Let's not have more than one portal out at a time when we're overhauling. I'm going to set one down and then get rid of it. Yeah, see, that's why. That's why we'd be careful. I guess we'll throw an adrenaline onto you. We'll send you back down a level. And look, they add this as well. Look, is the purple number +1. So that's the number of regressions that have been cast on this. Pretty nice. Quality of life, at least. Pretty nice quality of life change. We'll set up the other portal here. Okay, so yeah, I really think King of Time is super easy to win on. It already was the most reliable in the past to win on. Now I think it's even easier because if you know how to farm early levels, it doesn't really matter your King matchup. Some are going to be easier than others, obviously, like King of Progress, since I could beat him, gives me overhauls, but there are many other ways to gain levels. King of Nature, King of Nothing have forms of getting levels as well. Another news. I didn't know this, by the way. They nerfed defenders before. I didn't even realize this. Apparently, defenders, they used to get 100% on the level up, 100% HP. They only get 40%. So they actually have not nearly as good synergies as I thought they would with regression. I'm very sad, actually. I mean, I get why they nerfed the defender in general, but I wish they'd nerfed in a different way. Because they have nothing but reflect and health, so I don't know if it makes me happy to see them nerf them that way. But it is what it is. They're fodder so I can overhaul, or maybe we do whatever it is, offering. I still can't remember card names. Well, if you're going to give it to me, I'm going to risk and see if I can get rewind. Oop, no rewind. Oh well. Worth a try. I can make money off these at least. We do... Ooh, if I could do one more, I could have leveled up. I mean, I still... I still could level up. That's okay. We'll wait a year. I will do this. And then this. I'll level up. And we'll sell you. There we go. Still don't know if I love how it teleports units, where it places them, but... Oh, now I get a rewind. A little late. Too bad, so sad. Okay, so yeah, I guess with this build, we're just trying to scale our main base here, which we could do with regression, hilariously enough. It would be nice to add some crit chance onto it, though. Then you could start scaling crit. These are maxed. Will it level this up? It did, and it did it correctly. 2 level ups. Very nice. So this is actually gained stats from 9 level ups. So it maxes out at 18, but because we've regressioned twice, we will have gained stats as if they were 20 level ups. I'm so greedy. I keep getting good cards. I'm not going to sell these guys, though, obviously. Okay, warp those, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And we do have 1 adrenaline, so we will slowly scale our summons. But really, these guys are just a meat wall. Like, this is what matters. Okay, now I'm going to take something that I can get rid of. So I can actually utilize my other 2 cards. Okay, so here's another thing they did. So you can reroll Blessing. The problem with this is, I'm seeing it right now, it's still going to pick a random tile, and I don't even get to see where the tile is. I actually don't like this change. I feel like it's a trap, and people are going to dump their money into this or rerolls, and it's going to be nothing. Like, you should never play around this. I guess it's a nice feature, but it comes so early in the game that you're never going to really have a lot of money, typically. Yeah, this just feels like a trap, because you don't even know where it's going to go. So you'll be rolling for it to fit your build, but then still, even if, oh yes, I need HP. So you could roll until you find HP. You still have to get there. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the whole prophecy in general. It's like, it's not 9 times out of 10. It's like 99 games out of 10, out of 100. I never see it being used or being useful. Can I talk? Maybe. It never sees use, in my opinion. Do I greed here? Yeah, I don't want to force going back in time just yet. Wow, sacrifice it useless. Take a shields, that's pretty good. Like to rewind to get another shields. This is King 9. I'm playing as if it's, you know, peasant difficulty. And I shouldn't. Okay, Bastion, can you be more useful, please? Wow, we got scaled. I mean, it's doing some damage. Oh? Can't even one-shot a rat. So I'm guessing year 6 is when the scaling cranks up. That was like suspiciously more difficult. Also, you can taking it. It said something about re-rolling the peace outs and but that was always there. No, it's just the next king. Yeah, it's the next king. I'll face King of Time. That should be fine. I actually think King of Time is a lot weaker now. To nobody's surprise, I bet. Yeah, we'll place this. No, actually, let's see how bad this fight goes. I bet this is a lot easier. They made the King of Progress a lot easier to face, in theory, but I don't think it really mattered that much. I think King of Progress, as we just witnessed, is still absolutely terrifying. This feels awkward, but I'm going to take Adrenaline here, I think. Up our front line. Ooh, good. King of Nothing. So I don't want to go back in time just yet then. So we will adrenaline you. Yes, I'll spend the gold here to help them out. They're already maxed, so I'm going to... You're level 1, right? Yeah, I'm going to level you first, and we'll see what we get. Okay, okay. Wow, you see the art? That was an archer running up. No, we lose this one. Pretty bad too, huh? Oof. Okay. Oh, weird. Is it always... Oh? Why is it +9 there? Weird. They buff trappers. Not buying them. What else would we want? Haste would be really funny on the Warper summons. I don't think that makes them good. Just be really funny. Oh, now it's gone. You know what? We'll take a trapper. I want more cards in my hand. You down. We're losing. I don't know if we could beat them in a couple going back in time though is my problem here, but and then I'm gonna put a portal here and then trapper there and then sacrifice them. Unless the trappers prove themselves to be very worthy. Somehow I doubt it. They buff trappers by something. Where are they? I don't know. They buff them. I don't see any numbers. I wish we could see our enemy here. Well, I have no money. So I don't think I'm going to hit 10 seconds. I think I'm just going to die. Trapper. Okay, I'm going to control this. I need to control it. That's too bad. Okay, good. They're running after my guys. Nice AI. And we still lose. Ah! Oh. Bastion's still garbage. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Bastion's not good. Ah. So this is cool. Here's another thing that they have. They have the perk screen. So you could jump straight to here and make a change. Pretty convenient. Anything else I want to show off in this video? I guess we can just go over the patch changes real quick. And I'll give you my thoughts. Maybe if I start with a run. Even if we lose. And then we go over the changes together. That might be more engaging. So let me switch over. In just a quick moment. There we go. I'm back. Might be slightly off center, but forgive me. So this is the patch 17, the agency patch. Thank you. So they want to give us more agency, turn down the difficulty a little bit, but still being challenging. Making the King of Time sustainable on on high end difficulties, and making sure reported bugs are fixed. Well, thank you. So as you saw, we could reroll the king for the next battle. We can reroll the blessing. I want the blessings reworked, honestly. They're almost never useful because it's a random tile, and you already have your setup finished by the time the blessings show up. But this is, I guess, a good direction, I suppose. During a battle, there is now a surrender button. I guess if you want to force, intentionally lose life for a strategy, I could see that with populate, procreate combo, where you have the King of Nature. Any perk that triggers on life loss. So King of Greed has one as well, Planner here. And then King of Nature has probably the best one overall. Where is it? Tenacious. So guess... Ooh, I didn't switch screens. Let me switch. Yes, we have Tenacious here. Losing a life. Gives you a card. And King of Greed has one too, right here. You get gold when you lose a card. So I think that's why you might purposely lose a life. Anyways, keep going. So, jump straight to perk after losing. Game start and post-run sequences are faster. That's very cool. Everything, there's a lot more snappy things like losing lives, ending runs. We saw this. You get a stamp on all of the difficulties if you've beat a higher difficulty. So you beat King, you'll get a little stamp showing everything else was beaten too. Don't know if I like this change, actually. It changes, like, I liked being able to see what I had actually done and what I hadn't done. Regressed plots, this is great. The regression counter, the little purple. We didn't see walls, but I trust they're there. That's pretty nice. Level up animation, that's nice. Perk button will now pulsate when you have a new perk, thank you. I guess people didn't notice they had perks or new ones. Here's what I care about. All difficulties now give more EXP. Very cool. Bastion's damage was heavily buffed. That's not the Bastion's problem. Bastion needs more AoE on level up. Or more than it's getting if it does have any. Also, I don't like where it warps them. It warps them somewhere randomly in a line away from your like parallel from your general like lineup. Because it's random, they end up in dumb spots. So you'll warp a group, which a lot of your units benefit from the enemy being in a group, and they spread them out into a line, which the King of Time at least has bad matchups with things that are spread out in a line. The orbiters fire in lines, and even the warper. A lot of their minions, you benefit from things being stacked up because you'll typically want to stack buffs. And almost all of the enchantments, which also orbiters scale well off of enchantments, almost all the enchantments benefit from things being clumped up. Whether it's killing enemy on death, combustion, dealing damage, or it's the static, bouncing around, has a maximum distance it could jump, etc., etc. So I think the Bastion's just a bad card, I'm sorry. It's bad synergy with all of your units. And pretty much all the strategies you want to run with the King of Time. So I would not try to build with the Bastion. We just tried it. It was bad. I mean, there's more we could have tried. We could have rerolled Kings and whatnot, but it's a bad tower. I'm sorry. Oh, hey, give him a patch. Bring it back. Okay, Orbiter. Base HP and damage are buffed. I don't think they're good enough, but we'll try again with them later. A Warper's rebalance. Stats are now higher. It's not high enough. And its minions will inherit 50% of its buffs it gains. This is a massive nerf. This is like nerf to the ground, honestly. Though it's only 50% of the minions' base stats. Though it's only 50% the minions' base stats, but that's... So, Warper will scale better, except with the King of Nomad. With the King of Nomad, the Warpers were fine. They scaled just fine. You just had to hit a few flat health buffs early on. Now, starting at 12 HP is still really bad. Like, that's just not enough. And 4 damage is definitely not enough. Because the minions would only have 6 HP and 2 damage. And, you know, increasing their damage by 2% every year doesn't do anything to something that starts with 2. And increasing health if something has 4 HP by 2% also doesn't do anything. Honestly, this is really weak. I think this unit is probably worse by far than it was before. It honestly, I don't even think it's a better early game performance. I actually disagree with this heavily because basically your minions will always be half as good as your warpers. So even if you've buffed the base scaling, I'll come back to this. I'm going to show you math. I'm going to show you why this is a nerf and a big nerf. Okay, so Trapper stats are buffed. Wish they tell us how much. Mangler stats are buffed. I mean, Mangler fundamentally is bad. A lot of things that are their AoE are targeted AoE that has a travel time. Those are usually bad. Hey, trappers are bad because they put down traps, like they spread them out in a line around the front of your base, pretty much. So like you never hit about 2/3 or definitely about half their traps will never be procced ever, forever and ever. I keep dragging clicking, it goes away. Cauldron works with Bastion. Didn't know that was a problem. I didn't know Warhorns didn't work with Warper minions. Concerning. Amplifier, okay. Paladins benefit from it better, good. Early game, what they mean here is like the first few years don't scale as hard. And we saw that. Like year 7, things suddenly went back to how they used to be and impossible to beat. So you at least have 6 years-ish to figure out what you're trying to do. Base troop multipliers decrease on all difficulties. About 5% fewer troops. That didn't really matter. But thank you. Still face a challenge. I don't know what this means. Did they just, like, if you're on King 9 and beyond, they just have it the same as before, as last patch? Maybe. I don't know what this means. You'll still face a challenge. King difficulty was mildly tweaked down. And they said you could beat it without any perks. Yeah, you could beat it without any perks. You might need a reroll a couple times. You know, there are bad matchups for everybody. And without perks, you know, you probably do need to reroll. Anyway, or lose a few times and then win one. Added minions independent. So like the Warper minion summons. They showed up. We saw them in the armor that we faced. Warper enemy cost is higher, so there will be fewer Warpers, fewer defenders, and fewer shamans in the enemies. More lab rats. I don't like that change. The enemy King of Progress already had like the most units by far. Like by far. I'd have to look back at the footage, but I bet the few times we faced them, especially around year 6, 7, 8, I bet that they were already at like 60, 70, 80 units. Despite the reduction in troop count. I bet this like fixed that. For just the King of Progress. The problem wasn't that they had too many defenders and too few rats. The problem is executioners. And having frontline. Enemy progress and time strengths were re-equated with other kings. Aww. Bear in mind, however, everybody's... So the King of Time as an enemy is super duper weak and easy now because they added in the little minions. And I would say you should pick them always if you're worried about an enemy. And King of Progress seems just as insanely broken as always. So I don't know what this means. Someone help me. Fixes. Regress plots now retain stats when migrated. That wasn't working when you moved them, huh? That's good. Glad they fixed that. Wall Megas walls no longer visually disappear when regress. That's funny. Oh, hey, there's the HP bar. A bunker degree buff no longer appears in support buildings besides amplifier. Ooh. You know, wage war, make peace. Yep, good. That was a bug. Fixed degree grouping during late game. Yeah, they can go off. They used to be able to go off screen, like blah, 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 and they keep going down here past the screen. Concabulators, shrines, portals with a soft lock. Well, okay. Oh, what? You could leave the game and load back in and just double your paladin HP over and over and over? Or not even. All the HP buffs from their damage would keep getting reapplied. So even worse. Oh, I should have taken advantage of that. Wonder if that's how my friend beat it. Beat King 99. Yeah, glitch, Steam Deck, Bastion. Oh, what sound effects? Where is it playing? Okay, and here's the big one. So, talking about agency, but trying to find a sweet spot between autonomy and the game's chaotic RNG fun. Sure it is. So they are going to be adding a custom mode. I'm guessing it's going to be like Sandbox. So instead of giving us more control, they're just going to let us re-roll certain things. Well, okay. It's just re-rolling your opponent. I don't even know if I like this change because if you this just benefits it benefits King of Greed and anyone else who could farm gold. And then who else? If this resets after every battle back to 10 gold like card selections do, then it's really, really strong. If it doesn't reset like the shop costs, then this is a horrible, horrible addition that you'll be able to use like a couple times and then you'll never be able to afford it again. A lot more agency. I don't know if it's a lot more agency unless you generate a lot of gold. It's really this quick restart. This is unfortunately the meta for high difficulty. You have to quick restart and get a new set of kings. That's just the meta. Honestly. And not only that, you have to restart to get a good hand with the right cards. You need to restart to have the right enemy in the first year. And then you probably restart after, say, the first 4 or 5 years, 5, 6 years, if you get a bad policy in the Royal Council. So, I mean, the meta is quick restarting over and over and over. So, I don't know if this is helpful, but I'm glad they're trying it. And this is not how they envisioned the game of played, but if that's not how they envisioned the game to be played, why did they give us these harder difficulties past King 9? That's probably my fundamental question. Why is there a King 9-9? That should have waited for the custom mode, the sandbox mode. But anyway, let's move on to the difficulty because I think this is the other crux of my concern here and kind of a clash with their philosophy. So they see a lot of people. I mean, there's a lot of explanation here. You can read it if you'd like, but the basic TLDR is they saw people struggling in these difficulties. You know, King, Prince, Duke, Count, Baron, Lord. Like, these were actually difficult for a lot of people, apparently, according to this post. And then there were other people who saw King difficulties really, really easy, like me. And there are people better at this game than I am, by far. Hey, who would probably agree. So, this is what they want the game to be. Peasant is, you don't care about anything. And then King is hard, like the true difficulty. And King 2 to King, well, what I guess is probably they mean King 9, is very hard. And then King 9-2 to King 9-9, I'm guessing is what they mean, because there is no King 1. King 9-1, you can't have King 9-1. That is possibly unwinnable. And by that I mean, like, King 9-9, I had a direct response in the forums, and they said, like, 1 in 100 million, basically. So, yeah. It's not an accurate number, brother. You could win. It's more like 1 in 100 games. If you count every restart. So they're doing a lot of things, and they like the feedback, so please leave them reviews. And yeah, they have a Discord. I did go in there. I mean, I like using the discussion forum in Steam, but you can talk there too. Well, anyway, okay, so I have one more thing I want to show off, and then we'll wrap up today's video. So, I'm gonna have to cut a bit of here to make sure it fits in the screen well, so you don't get to read everything I have. Okay, I'm back. So, you can see how I plan my videos, and I plan my layouts. See if you can figure out what these are. So I did a calculation thing once, about a week ago, around patch 15-16, trying to figure out how the math works. And I matched these with in-game, so these have maths going on in them, as you can see up here. But Yes, let's just say these match this is also what in-game I saw. So this isn't just mathing. This is in-game, and from the in-game number, I've verified how the math works. Overall in this game, there's a like current number. So like new warpers. The new warpers start with 12 HP. Also coincidentally, warlords, the base for nomads, they start with 12 HP. And then you have your perks. Those happen at the very beginning of the game. So for example, Con or Nurturer. By the way, Castilian does not work with HP, even though they are a base. And it says all base stats increased by 10%. I guess because they were added later, and the Castilian buffed everything that a building could have, and there was no HP for most buildings. No bases, at least, had HP. Cemetery would, and the Demon Altar would. But anyway, yeah, you don't get HP from Castilian. Don't use it. So you get a starting number, and then you get your perks right away. So if I had one count of Con, which gives you 10%, and Nurture, which gives you 10%, then you go 12 health. Then you get basically times 1.1, because there's one count, and it's a percent increase, so it needs to be 110%. So 110% of 12, 13.2, another 110% of the last number, because it will always start with like a new current. New current 13.2. Another 10% more is 14.52. Now this is where scaling is crazy. So let me just get rid of shields for a second so you can see how insane flat increases like shields are. We'll get rid of this one. So no shields until they turn into percents. This is scaling you should expect. We haven't even level up, and level ups are really big for most units, most plots in general. You usually have between like 20 and 30% stat increases. Sometimes it's only 10. But yeah, anyway. Really big jump with level up. But even still, let's say we didn't run Con and we didn't run Nurturer. So 12, we level up, we get 15. We level up again, we get 18.75. It's really small incremental, the differences you get. You need to start doing really big buffs like Migration, which is 10%, Gigantify. Let's get rid of Gigantify too, because Gigantify is a really big card. Let's get rid of these Gigantifies too. Yeah. So this is me spamming into a Warlord without shields and Gigantiphies. It takes a really long time to scale up. Like, if you're running shields, and this is with shield perk, by the way, that's why I have a 2 times. So like, imagine this is year 1, year 2, year 3. This is actually probably year like 9 or 10. No, I found this in the store. So yeah, that was around year 9, I think, is when the store is, somewhere around there. You know, 11, 12, 13, 14, let's say 15. Yeah, if you're here at 252 HP at year 15, you're dead. You're super dead for any unit. So putting in these, so we'll look at 252 migration. Putting those perks, they matter. It's plus 40 HP at the end of all of this, but it's really, really small, honestly, at the early game, and it really, really doesn't. It pushes things forward, so you do accelerate a little bit faster. But what really breaks it is the flat shields. You see the jump? 294 versus 456. One early flat increase. This is 10 health. Getting this early on is absolutely insane. Let's do it over here. The first one, just one level up difference. So now we're at 496 as opposed to, what was it, 50 or 56? So, you know, these flat increases, swords are not as good because they're only 5. These flat increases are absolutely bonkers. Completely bonkers. You really want these flat increases to units. And I'm going to tell you, let's say the starting HP was 10 before on the Warper. So 609, 658. I actually don't remember what the starting Warper HP was, but the fact that it went from 10 to 12 really doesn't matter that much. It does. In the grand scheme of things, it does make a difference, but it's not that big. I mean, maybe it was 8. So 560 versus 658. But like, you're dead. You're dead ages ago. This change, maybe if they started with 6. Oh wait, no, it still doesn't matter. It still doesn't matter. They could start with 2. And this is still the same rough range because of shields. Shields break the game, honestly, in many ways. Shields are absolutely insane. Flat HP increases like change how everything works. You should always be shooting for flat HP increases for any unit you want to scale with HP. This new change to me tells me, other than running shields, you honestly should not buff health anymore. Because all your summons coming out of the Warper, unless you hit Gigantiphies, unless you're hitting Gigantiphies, and then your minions can have 115,000 HP by the boss year. Like 3 Gigantiphies, which at King of Time you actually could cheat out Gigantiphies with Rewind. Unless you're doing something as silly as that and focusing everything onto one unit. I don't know. I feel like this change to the Warper was not correct. I know why they did it, but what this means is you're not going to be. I guess you're going to focus more on enchantments, and you're not going to rely on their health anymore. And I guess, you just want more counts, so populate. Procreate is probably the right choice here for Warpers. Like, surely they know. The devs surely know how their own system works. I don't know why they did that change. Other than, I guess, Warpers were too good. And Orbiters were too bad. I guess that was their philosophy, but making them inherit half the stats is... It makes me feel like attack speed is the better stat now, and then enchantments. And tomes are not so good anymore. So, I don't know. Well, if you stuck around this far, I guess, hopefully you learned something about how the maths work here. So I'll just reiterate just so it's obvious, in case it was confusing there. Everything in this game works off of multiply by the last thing. So you start with a value, your perks go in order, they multiply. So we have the 12 starting, then you multiply that by 110% because it's a 10% increase, and then you multiply that new number by 110%, and then we'll ignore the shields because they just add 10. So with a level up, that's 125%. So we multiply by 125%, and so on and so forth. One funny thing you might not know with cards that, like camps. This is a good example here. Camps, 2%, 2%, 2%, right? This is not, I have overwork here, that's why there's 4. This is not, 6% for one full level camp, one level 3 camp. It's 2%, multiply 2%, get a new number, multiply by 2%, get a new number, multiply by 102%, 102%. So it's slightly better than 4. It's slightly better than 6% as one sum. So actually these buffing things, you know how it procs and shows like every single proc? Those are individual calculations. So it actually is slightly better than 2%. I mean, it's not a lump sum, so it might be better than you might have expected. Also, level ups are almost always really, really good. But if you're going to do any buffs at all, that shields or even swords also would affect any way to give yourself flat stats. You should always do as soon as possible before doing things like leveling up, especially because you can't, there's a max to how many times you can level up. So if you can wait and not die, you should always shields or swords before leveling up, because flat numbers will always be the way the math happens, as far as I can tell, at least when it matters. Doing a flat amount first is just so much better than percent increase. You should do flat and then do something like level up or Dragon of High, or, you know, I don't know what else, overinvest, stuff like that. Okay, so I think we'll wrap it up there. Thank you to everyone who stuck around this whole long video. I'm going to do a real video, don't worry. I'm going to do 2 in one day, I think. I'll figure out who I want to play later. Yeah, so either way, I like the new changes. Hopefully you do too. Still think there's some interesting design philosophy decisions being made, but overall I appreciate the devs listening and giving feedback. Or not feedback, trying new changes, I guess a better way to put it, and explaining their thoughts. So I don't know if you feel the same. Let me know down in the comments below. Yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you'd like to see more, feel free to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.